everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two teams here looking to find a way to win. It's the Cardinals coming in at 1-3, going up against the Eagles, who come in at 2-1. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
First carry now. This is Johnson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover. Great moves in short areas.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Throwing on set. And right away, he lost the football. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Let's go! They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now working their way back onto the field, the Eagles defense coming off a fumble recovery there on the last time they were out on the field, so we'll see what they do here.
And once that happens, everybody wants to get involved. All right, whoever created the last one, they're going to get the praise in the film session. You want that praise yourself, so you know everyone's going to be attacking the football.
Well, we'll see if they can attack it, get hungry, and get another turnover. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
Hurry up, 319!
On second down, here's Rodgers. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
This is taken at about the 14. And another juke. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Now 3rd down, less than a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Patrick Peterson is almost an anomaly at cornerback. A big, thick, physical guy who can run with any receiver in the league.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And his kick is good.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Rodgers to throw on second down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Over the middle here to Brown. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. 23 yards on the play. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
Back to throw now on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's go!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt.
Delay of game, offense.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now we'll get a stoppage here, as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable here from the 38.
Whoosh!
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even sit.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And it is now 21-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now they go screen. It's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, and it's complete. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the 2nd half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the 2nd half, they can just tighten.
That's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing and maybe explode at the right time.
And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their dangerous wide receiver on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 2nd down, Johnson. And able to break one. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Cardinals came into today's game.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Six yards here to go for the offense on second down. Back to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their big tight end. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Underneath for Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They go to Johnson again. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Gun. All right, now, Detroit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Detroit now. 319. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are pouring it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. We focus our attention now on the Eagles' defense. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over, because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. It's no guarantee, but you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now will they keep that confidence? Time to find out. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Fresh set of downs here. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And on 2nd and 10 now. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Now they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Over the middle here to Brown. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll run it now out of the gun as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.